What up, guys? It's Mr. E, and today we'll be looking at the Amazon. So when you first start an Amazon, you will have a point to spend, just like any other class. Odin's Gift or Poison Knives are actually one of the two best skills to start with. I'm going to start with Odin's Gift. So you can see when you're attacking and using the skill, there's a chance for it to strike lightning, which actually does some really good damage at the very beginning of the game. The Amazon can use bows and javelins, so it's up to you to decide which type you want to use, whether it be the spear type javelin, the throwing javelin, or a bow. Easy peasy. When you first start off putting points in when you're leveling, I would say all skills on the top row are actually great. Feel free to put one in all and then start placing, once you get to level 12, into a few skills below, and then primarily just stay away from the poison tree and only go down the lightning tree while leveling. So let's look at a beginner lightning Amazon. So with Storm Pendant, you're probably going to find it sooner. It's a level 75 requirement, but who knows? You might find like a high demon necklace that you could put on at level 90, or you could buy one and you would want the one with lightning on it. I just put on a random level 75 requirement helm that seemed kind of tanky, but as you go on, you might find Judge, Jury, Executioner or something of, as good of stats. I went ahead and threw that on. Raider's Torch is actually really nice for level 80, but there are other options, so keep your eyes out for random satanic drops that you happen to find as you're leveling up. I went ahead and just, left Raider's Torch on because we're going to go ahead and go for some lightning and crit. Tropical Storm is actually really, really nice for level 90. You might find something else though, like Hellfire Curious, which happens to have mana per second. So if you happen to have any problems with mana, this would be a really good go-to chest plate that you can wear at level 50. Foxweave Belt is just your normal satanic that you can wear at level 75. It's nothing special, but it'll work. It's lightning damage. Scarab Gauntlets, probably the tankiest actual gauntlets in the game besides chases such as Emerald Gloves, which are like ridiculously rare, so Scarab Gauntlets are great. Diamond Greaves, whoa, this thing is ridiculous for level 75 requirement. One of the tankiest boots in the game, definitely going to be putting those on. Bottle of Sake, we just went ahead and went with that for the crit, but there's a bunch of other really good options that you can get later on, so this is just one I threw on as a basic potion. As far as the ring, you might be wearing something crappy like this as you go on, but when you can, swap over to something else like Satanic Eye. That way you can get the bonus all resist, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Electro doesn't really have any great quality to it, but it is really good for a two-hander, and it's a level 90 requirement, just like the Thunder Fury is. Thunder Fury is a one-hander, and if we were to use Thunder Fury, then we would just wear a shield with it. Electro actually has life per hit and mana per hit, so that negates the whole problem from running out of mana, which is really super nice. Thunder Fury does not have such a thing, so we have to make up for it. So since we swapped to Thunder Fury, we will be looking at a shield, because it's a one-hander, so we can apply a shield now. There are a lot of different options that you can wear before level 100, but I think I'll go with tankiness, and the Templar has a lot. You could see you could swap to something that has HP like Suomi Finland, but you drop way too much damage reduction. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick with Templar if I wear a shield. So here we go, let's put the build together. We're gonna want to put at least 1 point into these. Let's put 20 into Odin's Gift. Put 1 into there, 20 into Spearnage, another point into here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 20 into here, Odin's Battle Maiden, 20 I guess in here, Tropical Thunder, and then let's put the remainder into Death from Above. So Death from Above is just a passive that when you're shooting, like, a rain of spears will fall from the sky. You always want to make sure you put the skills that have the longest cooldown at the very beginning, that way your character's spamming them. So always put the ones you want to proc first from left to right. So let's go ahead and go test out the single target damage using this setup and a bow. These are the relics I'll be using today, and they can be changed at any time. If you guys do not like certain ones, feel free to plug them in. I have no hero levels. I am not using a merc. So let's test it out. This is just somebody who got straight to level 100. This is a level 100 test. As you can see, we didn't have to plug in almost any runes to be able to get our cooldown almost to 50%, which is basically the max. It all came from the necklace, the helmet, and the electro. Let's go ahead and test out single target damage with a one-handed Thunder Fury and a shield. You see the cooldown went down a little bit because there's no cooldown on the spear like there was electro. But there's ways to make up for it if we really want to. Let's see what the damage is like first. You can see that the damage reduction is way higher, but our damage is kind of lacking comparably to the bow. I guess it's because of the mana. We're running out of mana way too quick. Because of that, we can't spam our skills. It just kind of cuts us off. So that means that we're gonna have to figure that out. Looks like if we switch to Hellfire Curious, we'll actually get mana per second faster. So let's actually try that. We're gonna nerf our damage reduction and our damage a little bit on stat wise, but because of the swap, we're able to actually spam our skills a little bit more. Seems like it's not perfect though, but it's better. So if you guys run into the problem of running out of mana, just remember you can have mana per hit on an item, and that would actually negate the whole problem. So look out for mana per hit percent. That would actually be really nice. Let's go test out this setup with Hell Mode difficulty 3. We'll go ahead and go to the depths of hell. So this is technically a run with a fresh level 100 character, but the gear happens to be 10 out of 10 100%, which isn't very likely for somebody who just hit level 100 to have. But I'm trying to show you guys what it would be like if you took your gear you found early and upgraded it all the way. So the potential for even greater damage, even greater clear speed, even more fun, you know, is there, because this is just your normal common drops that you happen to get in nightmare mode more than likely, and you can find amazing, ridiculously rare OP items once you get to hell mode. So since you can now do hell mode no problem with just this crappy gear that you happen to find in nightmare mode that you leveled up, now's the time. You got what you need. Now you just have to grind. Either that or, you know, start breaking down all the trash items for rubies so you can buy what you need off the auction house. No problem whatsoever. Actually pretty smooth. So let's go ahead and try the same run, and we'll swap to the javelin with a shield instead. Also swapping over to Hellfire Cuirass, that way we don't run out of mana like instantly. Still running into some issues with mana like being gone, so we can't spam our skills as much as we would like, but the damage numbers are still there. We're still able to do our skills if we give it like half a second to actually regenerate, so it's not too bad. I mean, obviously it's not the best setup you can have. You'd probably rather use that bow from before, or you'd want to use some other item on your arsenal that actually has mana per hit, and that would actually fix the whole problem. But as far as tankiness goes, we can take direct hits with this setup and not get one-shotted, and we're still clearing reasonably fast. So there you go. There's the beginning lightning setup. Alright, well let's build an endgame lightning Amazon. So first we'll need to respec and put hero levels in. So we'll plug those in real quick. You can go with Shockwave, but I like to go with Divine Shield, just in case we do take a hit, we'll tank a little bit. Definitely want to go with Poison. Let's go ahead and put into crit on this one, because this build has more crit than it does attack speed. And Burst Shot on this setup. Let's go ahead and bring our mercenary back. Let's test out our single target damage with this endgame lightning setup. Not too bad. So what am I using? Well, you guys will find that out here in a moment. First off, we're using Thunder Guardian's Plate for the potential lightning break on hit. We're using the 2-piece Valkyrie set, which allows Tropical Thunder to deal 200% additional damage. It has increased AoE. We're using Absence of Constraint so that we can have the 2-piece set instead of 3. Emerald Gloves, obviously, for the tankiness. It's ridiculous. Thunderstone Amulet. This thing has a lot of all stats percent, a lot of all talents, and a bunch of lightning damage. Can't really go wrong. Rainbow. has a bunch of strength, and Amazon actually scales off of strength for its skills. Same with electric. So elemental damage for the lightning and a bunch of tankiness as well. Mirage. You guys probably wouldn't have thought it, but Mirage is actually way better than Defender's Justice and Heaven's Champion and even the Valkyrie Shield. I tested them all. For some reason it just does way more damage. I don't think it has anything to do with Spell Mirror. There's not very many skills I use that can double, but if it does double something, then it might be part of it. It just has a lot of ability power. It has a lot of elemental damage. It gives mana per hit, which is great. And it has a little bit of tankiness. Honestly, I don't know why it's so good. It just is. So I picked a random belt that I just happened to roll. It has the most ridiculous stats I've seen in this game. +8 all talents, elemental damage. If you can't find something this crazy, then you can go with the chase belt. Sets lightning sash. It's not bad whatsoever. But when you find something godly like this, you just gotta use it. So that's what I did. Protein shake, I went ahead and threw that on for the extra strength. This one just happened to have a strength bonus roll, which is OP. And if you want to go tanky, you can go ahead and throw on the XP potion. This XP potion will just give you a bunch more all stats to make you tankier. It's not really needed though. I'm also using Arena Masters Gilded Boots. And it's mainly for the crit and the stats that it comes with. So on my setup, I have a bunch of runes plugged in. Some are Vaughn runes for cooldown, but majority of them are actually Jex runes so that I can have bonus lightning damage. If you guys wanted to, you could take off damage such as that, and you can throw in a bunch of Drax runes or a bunch of like Fem runes. That way you can buff up your HP or you can buff up your damage reduction. With this setup, just having everything at 100%, if you happen to throw just pure Draxes in, your damage reduction would be over 500,000. But I still have 330k right now, so I rather just run damage, and I'll show you why. Let's go ahead and run a Hell 5 Sheeponia real quick with this setup. As you can see at monster level 1500, I'm literally just mowing through everything with this setup. It's pretty ridiculous. The lightning and explosions coming off of you from the spearnage to the tropical thunder is just fantastic. Boss just practically melted like butter. He had no chance whatsoever. See you later, Jeffrey. Alright, so let's go ahead and run this same setup, but let's go ahead and throw Judge on the Merc, and we're gonna go into Wormhole 1000.
Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn.
And there you have it, the Endgame Lightning Amazon. Alright, so here's the beginning, Poison Amazon. I put no hero levels in, I have no mercenary. And these are the items that I equip. So starting off, the Templar's a really good piece for the armor. Serpent's Tooth is amazing javelin. It doesn't normally come with Mortal Reminder, I went ahead and rolled that on there with the Angelic Key, but it always comes with Poison Tip, which gives you a 25% chance to do 125% more poison. You're on a high demons with poison. Wormwood's good. Wasteland Sigil is a decent charm. Lich Bane for the cooldown. Assassin's Belt, it's a cheapo, but it will work. Scarab Gauntlets and Diamond Greaves for the armor. Bottle of Sake just because. Satanic Eye for the all resist, that one just happened to roll with attack speed bonus. Here's my skills, and as you can see I have full resists and a decent amount of damage reduction. We're going to go ahead and set it to Hell 3 and see how this build works out with a speed run of Hell. Let's see how this goes. So comparably to the Lightning Zone, you can see that there's huge differences in how much damage the mobs take and how much damage the boss takes. On top of that, there's the problem with running out of mana, so you have to find out what items will work best for you to not run out of mana. And on top of that, the damage just isn't really there. I mean, comparably to the Lightning Amazon, it's night and day. So if you had to choose to, cruise through hell difficulty, why would you choose to do it on poison? I mean, maybe if they do a buff. So yeah, if a buff comes through and buffs the poison and all of the skills that you would use with the poison Amazon, then feel free to go ahead and use it. As far as the beginner setup goes, I don't think it's worth it. The Lightning Zone is just so much better. It's really up to you though. If you have a lot of fun using the poison Amazon and you like the playstyle, then by all means go for it. You could always try a hybrid build as well, where you prioritize poison but then go into more of the lightning skill aspect so that you can have the best of both worlds. It's completely up to you. So let's take a look at what an endgame poison Amazon would look like. First off, we stay with the same skill set, but we're gonna have to swap out all the items. So first we'll put Pearlescent Dreams on, mainly for the teleport, but it has a bunch of elemental damage. This one just happened to be a physical roll. We don't always get lucky, Emerald Gloves, way tankier. We'll put those on. Just some random belt that I found that has decent elemental damage, so I threw that on. It's not perfect. Absence and Constraint. That way we can wear the two-piece set of Aztec. The Aztec bonus, of course, giving you 50% bonus poison damage, and your poison can now stack to 20. We're going to be using Hamatsu's box because of Spell Mirror, which gives you a chance to basically cast your skills twice, or at least spells, and such as Envenom, that'll give us double the damage if it procs twice, so that's really nice, so we're going to use it. We're going to go ahead and switch to the Noxious Hunter's Reward. It gives us a chance to do Poison Break on the enemy. It has good stats in general. Might not be the very best you can have, but it's what I found that I liked. There are other options, of course. No shields. We're going to be using a bow. Death Quill. Death Quill is phenomenal. It has great stats. It gives you the ability to run fast. It has a skill called the Black Plague. Shoots 2 additional projectiles with a chance to spread the plague. And then we went ahead and rolled Flash Fire on it. That way we can shoot it faster, spread the plague a little bit quicker. Just went ahead and threw on Elixir of Unworldly Cognition just for the tankiness. And let's see, we've got to put in our points. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Hero levels are pretty important for an endgame build. Looks like we don't really have crit, so let's just go ahead and throw it into more attack speed. And multi-shot, very important. Definitely want multi-shot. More arrows means more spread. I'm going to go ahead and take that skill off and put teleport on instead. And what are we missing? Oh yeah, okay, we didn't put the Merc on yet, so let's go ahead and do that again. Alright, Mr. Merc. Alright, cool. Our stats are looking good. He's using St. Tommy's for the buffs. We got a Shroud of Elements and a Benetti's Rapier, which we should actually change out to Judge. So Judge for the taunt has Weapon Sweep on it. Weapon Sweep has been said to give life per hit and mana per hit, and it seems to actually work. So give that a shot on your Merc if you guys want, or on yourself. It actually seems to be pretty OP. So we went ahead and put Weapon Sweep on the Judge. Let's go ahead and set the difficulty to Hell 5 and give this setup a run through Shiponia. just so you guys can see what type of damage this thing does. And yeah. You can see that the poison and the plague actually triggered pretty well on this boss. So as far as an endgame setup, this is definitely a great build for at least running Hell 5. Let's go ahead and give Wormhole 1000 a shot. We'll see if we can even survive or even kill anything. Who knows? Find out right now.
Like a phoenix, you burn.
You can see even though Pogocho ran away and we're not shooting, the poison is still ticking down his HP, so that's always awesome to see. However, I'm not going to risk it and try to get hit, so I'm going to try to dodge everything anyway, and this boss kind of sucks. At least we did it, we pulled it off. This was not an easy feat, unlike it is with the lightning build, but it still does a bunch of damage and it's very viable. You can totally build it however you want, but this is how I built it, and you know, anybody can make a build, but not anybody can make one that's successful. So I think that it's a decent build. I would love to see you guys make something better, especially if they buff it. If they do anything to buff this build, then sky's the limit, guys. Anything can happen. So that's it for the Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, slam the subscription button. Tell me in the comments below what you think. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. You can always join my Discord. There's a link down below in the description if you want to send me a PM. Or you can come check me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/equinoxide. See you in the next video, guys.